This is your spoiler warning for MyHouse.wad. If you haven't played it and you care about spoilers, stop here. This review requires discussing key details, and there's no way to do that without spoiling major parts of the WAD. Now that that's out of the way, get into it. When you download MyHouse, you get access to a Google Drive filled with photos, screenshots, sketches, and a journal written by the creator. The journal details his days working on the WAD. The story claims that the WAD was started by Tom, a friend of the creator, Veg, who sadly passed away. As a tribute to his friend, Veg has decided to finish the WAD with some modern Doom mapping tools. Now, I feel it's important to clarify, this story is fictional. The house depicted in the WAD is the creator's actual home during its development. This has been confirmed through his ex-wife's real-life photos and videos that match the in-game locations. However, none of that diminishes the WAD's impact. MyHouse captures the essence of what makes a good ARG or creepypasta perfectly. It uses its backstory and its files to build an atmosphere and add to the lore. The WAD begins in a seemingly normal house. A few zombie men, shotgunners, and imps. Enemies aren't the selling point of the WAD, but carelessness can still get you killed fairly quickly, as health pickups are pretty sparing. David X. Newton points out in his series, The Mysteries of MyHouse, that the map has small mistakes typically seen by first-time map creators. This is likely intentional to support the narrative of someone who's just learning Doom mapping. And if it is intentional, it's a masterful design choice. The house's real purpose is to lull you into a false sense of security so that the later areas are an even more unexpected surprise. Upon finishing your exploration of the house, you'll leave in one of two ways. You'll either exit through the blue key gate into Underhalls, or you'll pursue the soul sphere that you saw hidden in the backyard. I would recommend exit through the blue key gate and exit into Underhalls. Grab the super shotgun, finish the level, and return to the house with the extra ammo and the SSG. Repeat the exploration of the house and grab all 3 keys, and only then go to the backyard to grab that soul sphere, because going to that backyard is the point of no return. Once you realize that that soul sphere is fake, it's already too late, and you've already begun the descent into the depths of the house. Returning from the backyard, you'll find that the exit now needs skull keys. Entering the house, you'll find new furniture, modern Doom cute architecture, and revived enemies. Exploring the house once again will reveal new rooms that can't exist in the spaces that they do. And all of this will occur while you're listening to a slowly devolving version of Running from Evil. From here, you're encouraged to slow down, experiment, and explore to unlock pathways to stranger versions of the house. The Brutalist house is a liminal gray structure that loops through slight, scaled variations. You'll meet the dog here, who's completely harmless, but he'll follow you through the house until you enter the bigger variation of it. Here you'll find a massive 2-headed dog, whose sprite is taken directly from blood. Now, this unfortunately is a gripe of mine when it comes to the WAD. I feel as if the non-vanilla enemies disrupt the careful tone that the vanilla enemies maintain, but this is hardly the worst example. You'll find that in the daycare basement, a version of the house that mimics a 90s era daycare. Here, you'll have an out-of-place encounter with none other than Shrek. Now, it's not game-breaking, but it disrupts the surreal, serious tone that the lore and backstory sets in place. I feel a custom enemy or nothing at all would have been better than fighting a 2013 Shrek meme. I know there's some lore attached to this, but since it's all fictitious, I think a better choice could have been made here. Another version of the house is the bathhouse, which I find to be a visually interesting and eerie location. The dissonant echoes of water as you navigate a non-Euclidean maze of showers and lockers is pretty interesting, and while previous iterations were marred by unfitting enemies, here we see enemies from Hellforged. These are monsters that I feel fit the aesthetic somewhat better than Shrek or enemies taken directly from blood. I find that this proves thematically relevant enemy designs enhance the WAD while off-theme enemies do not. And I also won't hold the oversaturation of pool rooms' liminal spaces against MyHouse, as it predates a lot of the pool slop that we see permeating the indie game space. Later on, you'll encounter the Mirror House, which I feel is a return to form. It reverses the music, the sounds, and it even mirrors the sprites of enemies. Everything's covered in a strange blue tint, and exiting here through the gate doesn't take you to Underhalls. It takes you to Slaughter. A mirrored version. Functionally, it's unnecessary, but I think it showcases the WAD's attention to detail and its commitment to its themes. You won't gain anything from completing it, but it's worth a run through for the ammo and just to experience it. Now, this section I'm going to call the outer houses because these spaces go a lot further than I think the alternate houses do. First off, the airport is a highlight. It maintains the house-shaped layout seen throughout MyHouse without actually feeling like another version of the house. I think the clever puzzles really stand out, especially a portal-based puzzle in the women's bathroom. Here you make sure that you keep the entrance clean of blood using the mirrors in order to secure a BFG before facing 4 pinky variants. Not grabbing the BFG here is potentially a fatal mistake if you're aiming for the true ending. The other outer house is the gas station, which serves as the endpoint of MyHouse. It offers several endings, but we're going to focus on the true ending, or the good ending. You reach it by following a dark road past a crashed car that's playing the most mysterious song on the internet, which we now know as Subways of Your Mind by FEX. You continue past the crash and through the woods and you'll arrive at a shell station with an eerily flickering light that makes it spell hell. The gas station itself is unremarkable. It's got some pickups, some ammo, another item for you to collect. You'll also find a pretty familiar bathroom here, but this, like I said, is where the real finale begins. Behind the mirror version of the gas station, you'll encounter the Mirror Vial, a mirrored arch vial that chases you back through the mirror house, across the regular house, and into the normal gas station, which is now overrun by a horde of demons. While it's meant to symbolize fighting for happiness, I feel like this slaughter map moment feels very out of place for a surreal and atmospheric WAD. Now, either you fight the entire horde, or you sprint through it with the BFG like I did, and you return to the campfire where you first met the mirror vial. You can exit through the tree behind it. Here you'll find yourself at a quiet beach. Waves crashing, your dog sleeping quietly at your side. It's a serene and powerful ending to a fantastic WAD that even though I have my gripes with it, it still earns every bit of praise that it receives. MyHouse.wad is an exceptional experience for anyone who enjoys atmospheric, low-burn, surreal horror. It captures the essence of a successful surrealist horror story while offering smart design and rewarding exploration. Some tonally inconsistent enemies and a strangely slaughter-mapped fight are a little odd and out of place. I think a lot of these flaws are still overshadowed by the WAD's creativity and intelligent design. If you want a Doom WAD that blends narrative ARG elements and surreal horror that has detailed, smart Doom mapping, I think MyHouse is absolutely worth your time. Just overlook the fact that Shrek shows up